So the Pythagorean theorem, it's telling you to use the Pythagorean theorem. The Pythagorean theorem is a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Now, the hypotenuse always has to be the c value. So make sure, now to recognize where the hypotenuse is, it's always going to be across from that right angle. So that means that 5 is going to be my hypotenuse. So we've got 4 squared plus y squared. Now, could I have put the 4 in for b and the y in for a? Yes, you could have. But it's super important that your c value, your hypotenuse value, goes in for c. So now what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate the squared before we add. So 4 squared is 16 plus y squared equals 25. So now what we want to do is get the y squared by itself. So we're going to subtract 16 from both sides. Now we have y squared equals 25 minus 16, which is 9. And then to get the y by itself, what we would have to do is square root both sides to get rid of that square. So now y equals, now here's the thing, y will equal a positive or a negative 3. But if we plug this in up here, it doesn't make sense for a side length to be a negative value, so it is only going to be a positive value of a positive 3. So that's what we can write on the line over here, y equals 3. Then for part B, once again, we're still going to use our a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Don't forget is that your hypotenuse is always across from that right angle. So my hypotenuse has got to be the x in this one. I like to plug that in first so that I don't accidentally put something else there. And then our a and our b this time, we know both of them. So 8 and 10. You could switch, the 10 could go in for b and the 8 could go in for a. It's just that the c value has to be your hypotenuse length. Let's go ahead and calculate the square value first before we add. And so now we've got 164 equals x squared. Then we need to square root both sides. Now I don't know the square root of 64 off the top of my head, so we're going to have to use a calculator. So let's see, the square root of 64, 164, is going to be about 12.806. We can go ahead and round to the nearest tenth. And that would be about, let's see, 12.8 units.